Ozzy Osbourne, a name that echoes through the halls of rock and roll history, a man who shaped heavy metal, who turned pain into performance, who shocked the world and then made it love him. But what did people really know about him? Yes, we knew the bats, the biting, the fame, but behind it all, Ozzy was a survivor, a father, a husband, and a man who lived through hell and came back again and again. This is his full story. From the dark streets of Birmingham to the final spotlight of his life. This is Ozzy Osbourne, the final bow of the Prince of Darkness. Ozzy was born John Michael Osbourne on December 3, 1948 in Aston, a working-class suburb of Birmingham, England. He was one of 6 children. His father worked at a car factory. His mother was a factory worker too. Life was hard. They had barely enough money. They shared one bathroom. They slept in cramped bedrooms. The family didn't talk much, but they worked. And Ozzy was different. He was dyslexic, though people didn't call it that back then. He was bullied at school. He struggled to read. He was constantly afraid of being stupid, so he became the class clown. He loved making people laugh. And then one day, he heard the Beatles. When I heard She Loves You, that was it. I wanted to be a Beatle. But before music could save him, he went the other way. At age 17, Ozzy was arrested for breaking and entering. He spent time in Winson Green prison because he couldn't pay the fine. It was cold, it was brutal, and it changed him. When he got out, he knew 2 things. He didn't want to go back to prison. He wanted to make music. In the late 1960s, rock music was everywhere. But Ozzy and his friends had something darker in mind. Ozzy joined a local band with Tony Iommi on guitar, Geezer Butler on bass, and Bill Ward on drums. At first, they called themselves Earth, but then something strange caught their attention. People were lining up, not for concerts, but for scary movies. So they asked themselves, what if we made music that sounded like a horror film? That question gave birth to a new name, Black Sabbath, and with it, a brand new genre of music, heavy metal. In 1970, their first album dropped, Black Sabbath. It was dark, loud, menacing, and unlike anything anyone had ever heard. Then came Paranoid, a song that turned them into global stars. Followed by Iron Man, War Pigs, and N.I.B. The fans? They loved it. The parents? They hated it. But the band? They were unstoppable. But with success came pressure. And with pressure came drugs. Ozzy, already a heavy drinker, started taking cocaine, LSD, pills, everything. He became unpredictable, unreliable. He missed rehearsals, he lost focus, and slowly, the band began to crack. It was 1979. Ozzy Osbourne was fired from Black Sabbath. His drug use had spiraled out of control. Even his bandmates, who were also using, couldn't deal with Ozzy's self-destruction anymore. For Ozzy, it felt like the end. He went home, locked himself in a hotel room for days, drinking nonstop, doing drugs. I thought my life was over, he later admitted. But then, everything changed. In walked a woman named Sharon Arden, daughter of music mogul Don Arden.
I met Ozzy when I was around 18, and he came into my father's office for management with Black Sabbath. So I was 18 when I first met him.
She told him, "You're not done. You're going to do a solo album." And she meant it. Sharon became his manager. She cleaned up his act, slowly, painfully, but it worked. In 1980, Ozzy released his debut solo album, Blizzard of Oz. It was a smash hit. The album featured songs that would define his legacy: Crazy Train, Mr. Crowley. Ozzy was back. But much of that success came from one young genius guitarist, Randy Rhoads. He was classically trained, precise, and completely opposite of Ozzy's chaos. Together, they created something powerful. But in 1982, tragedy struck. Randy Rhoads died in a freak plane crash while on tour. Ozzy was devastated. "It was like losing a brother," he said, choking up in an interview. He nearly quit music altogether. But Sharon pushed him to keep going. Over the next few years, Ozzy continued releasing albums like Diary of a Madman, Bark at the Moon, The Ultimate Sin. He became more than a singer. He became a metal icon. But behind the scenes, things weren't as shiny. He was still drinking, still using, still unstable. Sharon often had to physically stop him from hurting himself or others. One time he bit the head off a dove in a meeting, another time a bat on stage.
Explaining it, let's tell him what you did. Bit the head off a bat. There, I said it.
It wasn't Batman, it was like a bat, a real bat, yeah.
Okay, now, you were about to explain that.
I was just about to explain it, yes.
Those stories made headlines around the world. Some thought he was insane. Others thought it was marketing genius. But one thing was clear: Ozzy Osbourne was not going anywhere. Ozzy was never just a singer. He was a showman, a legend for his wild and sometimes unbelievable stage antics. In 1982, during a concert in Des Moines, Iowa, something unforgettable happened. A fan threw a bat onto the stage. Ozzy thought it was a plastic toy. Without hesitation, he picked it up and bit its head off. But it wasn't fake. It was a real bat. He later said, "I didn't mean to bite it. It was just a crazy moment."
So I picked it up, thing's head off, and suddenly everybody's freaking out because it's a real bat, because like on the stage set, like the bat goes like asleep.
Because of the incident, Ozzy had to get rabies shots for weeks. The world was shocked. The media had a field day, and Ozzy's wild image was cemented forever. But that wasn't all. He also became famous for other crazy moments: biting the head off a live dove during a photo shoot, smashing televisions on stage, being arrested for riding his motorcycle on a freeway in Los Angeles. Despite all this, Ozzy never wanted to be just a wild man. He wanted to be respected as a musician. In the early 2000s, Ozzy's life took an unexpected turn. Ozzy, Sharon, and their kids, Kelly, Jack, and Amy, starred in MTV's hit show, The Osbournes.
Meet the perfect American family.
Jack, stop telling people you're Ozzy Osbourne's son to get into places because you're a fucking loser.
Millions tuned in to watch their chaotic, funny, and surprisingly tender family life. Ozzy was shown as a loving but forgetful dad. He struggled with everyday tasks.
That fucking crap on you guys. I had a guy pull chicks in his fucking mouth. Please don't get drunk or get stoned tonight.
He made mistakes. He joked about his past wild life.
One last thing. If you have any drugs or any alcohol, give me some.
Fans loved this new side of Ozzy. It humanized a rock legend. The show lasted 4 seasons and made the Osbournes household a household name. Ozzy once said, "I'm not just a rock star. I'm a dad who loves his family." But behind the laughter and music, Ozzy was fighting a long battle. In 2003, he suffered a near-fatal all-terrain vehicle, ATV, accident.
It's too fucking cold. My fingers are let's go back.
He broke his neck, ribs, and collarbone. Many thought this would be the end of his career, but Ozzy came back. In 2019, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. For years, Ozzy kept his illness a secret, The disease made walking, speaking, and performing difficult. He said, somberly, "I've had 5 years of absolute hell." But he continued making music and performing when he could. His last public performance was on July 5, 2025, in Birmingham, his hometown. Seated on a throne due to his health, he sang one last time with the original Black Sabbath members. On July 22, 2025, Ozzy Osbourne passed away peacefully at home, surrounded by his wife Sharon and their family. The world mourned the loss of the Prince of Darkness. Celebrities, fans, and fellow musicians shared their condolences. "Ozzy was one of a kind," said Elton John. "His influence on music is unmatched," said Metallica. Ozzy Osbourne was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, with Black Sabbath in 2006, solo in 2024. His music still inspires millions worldwide. Ozzy Osbourne's journey was anything but easy. From a troubled boy in Birmingham, to the godfather of heavy metal, to a loving family man, to a fighter battling illness until the end. His story reminds us all, no matter how dark life gets, you can rise again. Ozzy Osbourne's voice may have fallen silent, but his music, or his spirit, and his legacy will live forever. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let us know your thoughts in the comments.